Very good morning, class 8th, and today we'll begin with chapter number 4, materials, metal and non-metals. Before starting the chapter, I just wanted to tell you that please follow the rules so that we can fight against coronavirus, staying at home. And whenever it is necessary to go out, please wear 2 masks. And then only you move out, obey your parents, don't roam here and there. And please stay safe at home. घर में ही रहिए आप, कहीं मत जाइए. जितना ज़रूरी है उतना आप निकलिए घर से, अगर बहुत ही ज़रूरी है, अदरवाइज निकलने की ज़रूरत भी नहीं है. Let your parents go or wash your hands again and again, use sanitizer if you move out, and take care of yourself. Alright, so let's begin with this chapter, materials, metals and non-metals. So students, about the introduction of the chapter metals and non-metals, you have seen whenever you look around, you see large number of materials or things around you which have different shapes, sizes and texture, isn't it? If you are familiar with the number of materials like iron, aluminium, copper, etc., some metals have been given in your book in table 4.1. You can write it accordingly, where they have given you the object and material and its appearance, if it is hard or not very hard. So can you name the materials which are metals here, which is given in the table here? So the rest of the materials which are given in this table are non-metals, but we're going to start with metals only. I'm going to tell you what are metals first, but we can divide all these materials into elements and compounds and mixtures. So in higher classes, you will going to study about all these metals and non-metals briefly. Just for the little introduction, I'm just telling you that of the 118 elements that have been discovered by the scientists, 92 of them are naturally occurring, which are metals, and other elements give some trace amount of in the nature that they are present naturally. And this brings the number of naturally occurring elements to 98. Sometimes it usually varies from 92 to 98. So out of 92 naturally occurring elements, 70 are metals and about 22 are non-metals. Some elements show properties of both metals and non-metals. They are called metalloids. Students, this is not given in your book, but just for introduction, this is very important to know it. When you go in class 9th and 10th, you are going to study briefly about this. So elements is a substance which cannot be split up into 2 or more simpler substances by using a chemical method, like applying a heat, light and chemical methods. Okay. So, for example, if I'll give you the example like iron, oxygen, magnesium are some example of such elements. So elements can be classified into metals, non-metals and metalloids depending upon their physical and chemical properties. Today the video is totally based upon the physical properties of metals. Tomorrow I am going to send you the chemical properties of metals, how it reacts with water, oxygen and acid. So the first one is metal. If I give you an example like it is given in the table here in table 4.1, metals like iron, copper, tin, gold are etc. are metals. In general, metals are hard and shiny in appearance. Non-metals, there are 17 naturally occurring, 17 naturally occurring. Rather, there are 22 non-metals which I have given here, mentioned you the proper number here. And out of this, which are naturally occurring, some are like one is liquid, that is bromine, selenium and iodine. Solid is carbon, phosphorus, sulfur, selenium and iodine. All these are in a solid form. So if we talk about non-metals, which are not very hard and most of them are dull in appearance, alright. Only some metals like gold, silver, platinum, etc. found in free state, and most metals are found in combined states as oxides, sulfides, carbonates, silicates, etc. And if we talk about non-metals, which are found in free state like helium, neon, argon, etc. and some are found in free and combined states like sulfur, phosphorus, etc. There is a short picture of this periodic table where I am identifying you the metals here, metalloids and non-metals, alright. But today we're just going to focus on the metals Alright, most elements on the periodic table are metals, which is here in blue in color, as you can see. The students, there are 118 elements total, as you can see here, OG. Here you can see 118 elements, total 118 elements have been found. And out of this, most of them are metals, as here you have seen the blue color part area, full all are the metals, and metals consists of alkali metal, alkaline earth metals, transition metals, lanthanide and actinide. As I'm again focusing you, this you will going to study it in higher classes. Just to know and show you the images of the periodic table. This is a periodic table where elements have been given a proper atomic number, just like the roll number is given to you. The same way these elements are also been given the numbers. Alright, so let's begin. Here are some of the pictures of the metals. These are the metal, students, which are there in the periodic table. Please go through it. And as you can see, there are so many metals, as I've already told you in brief. These are the images or the atomic number of the metals which are present in our periodic table. So over 75% of elements are metals. So they fill most of the periodic table. Metals are on the left side of the table, as you have seen in the periodic table. The two rows of elements below the main body of the table, the lanthanide and actinides, are also metals. The lower portion, the lower table which you have seen there, that they are also metals. So as you can see, 75% of the elements which you have seen in the periodic table are metals. This is what I wanted to clear you. Alright. So one more thing, that students, the earth crust is the main source of the metals and non-metals. Almost all rocks contain some metallic minerals, and these minerals from which the metals can be extracted conventionally and profitably are called the ores. In the ores, certain impurities are present along with the metallic minerals. Alright, so these impurities are usually to be cleaned, alright, from because they have been found from the earth crust, and metals are found in the combined state as minerals or in free states that we have already talked about. So the occurrence of metals depending on the nature of the metals and the reactivities. For example, iron, copper, etc. are found in combined state, and gold and platinum, etc. are found in free state, the first part which I have told you. Non-metals exist in the earth crust in combined state, oxides, carbonates and phosphates, that I have told you. For example, oxygen occurs in free state in atmosphere. Alright, it is also present in combined state with water, H2O. combined state मतलब वो किसी के साथ combination में है, इसीलिए combined state बोला है हमने, ठीक है. So noble gases वगैरह exist only in free state. A few metals like potassium, sodium and calcium are also found in seawater. Iodine is a non-metal found in seawater. So the series of the process carried out to extract pure metals from their ores is called a metallurgy. तो आज हमने इस चैप्टर में क्या क्या नए वर्ड्स पढ़े हैं बेटा? आज हमने एलिमेंट्स के बारे में जाना, पीरियोडिक टेबल्स के बारे में जाना, और पीरियोडिक टेबल में मैंने आपको बताया कि कितने मेटल्स होते हैं हमारे पास जो नेचुरली अकरिंग है. उनका नंबर यूजुअली वेरी करता है 92 टू 98 में, और नॉन मेटल्स का नंबर मैंने आपको बताया 22 है, और उसमें से 17 जो है वो नेचुरली अकरिंग है. कौन से मेटल्स है जो कंबाइंड स्टेट में प्रेजेंट है, कौन से ऐसे नॉन मेटल्स है जो फ्री स्टेट में प्रेजेंट है. और हमने एक और मेटलॉइड्स के बारे में बात की. मेटलॉइड्स जिस ऐसे एलिमेंट्स होते हैं जिसमें मेटल्स और नॉन मेटल्स दोनों की ऐसी प्रॉपर्टी होती है, उनको हम मेटलॉइड्स बोलते हैं. इसके एग्जांपल्स मैं आपको दूंगी बेटा. और सीरीज और ऐसी प्रोसेस जिससे कि हम प्योर मेटल्स को एक्सट्रैक्ट करते हैं उसी की ओर से, जो हमें अर्थ क्रस्ट में मिलता है, इस प्रोसेस को हम मेटलर्जी बोलते हैं. इसके कुछ एग्जांपल देती हूँ बेटा मैं आपको. फॉर एग्जांपल इंपॉर्टेंट ओर्स जैसे बॉक्साइट है, ठीक है, आयरन पायराइट्स है, हेमेटाइट है, एंड कॉपर ग्लैंस है. ये सारे जो हैं हमें मेटलर्जी, जो हमें सारे ओर्स की फॉर्म में मिलते हैं, एंड वी हैव टू कन्वर्टेड देम इनटू अ प्योर मेटल फॉर्म. इनको मेटल बनाना पड़ता है. तो ये जैसे बॉक्साइट एल्यूमिनियम का है, ऑलराइट. तो इन सभी को हमें प्योरीफाई करना पड़ता है, उसके बाद ही हमें मेटल ऑब्टेन होता है, ठीक है, बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ मेटलर्जी. फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ मेटल्स की बात करें हम, मैं आपको फिजिकल स्टेट में आपको आई हैव रिटन ऑल दीज इन कंबाइंड फॉर्म. द फर्स्ट वन इज मेटल्स आर सॉलिड्स. कुछ मेटल सॉलिड्स होते हैं, उनकी फिजिकल स्टेट क्या है कि वो सॉलिड रहेंगे रूम टेम्परेचर में, ठीक है, बट मरकरी एक ऐसा मेटल है विच इज नोन टू ऑकर इन लिक्विड स्टेट इन नेचर. सो नो मेटल एग्जिस्ट इन गैसियस स्टेट. कोई भी ऐसा मेटल नहीं है जो गैसियस स्टेट में प्रेजेंट है, बट जो आपका मेटल है, जो सॉलिड, जो लिक्विड है रूम टेम्परेचर में, उसका नाम है मरकरी. प्लीज ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है, ये सारे इंपॉर्टेंट है कि मरकरी जो है आपको लिक्विड फॉर्म में एक ऐसा मेटल है जो रूम टेम्परेचर में लिक्विड रहता है. मेटल आर हार्ड एक्सेप्ट लिथियम, पोटेशियम और सोडियम. सोडियम और पोटेशियम जो है वो आप नाइफ से भी कट कर सकते हैं. दे आर वेरी सॉफ्ट इन नेचर. सो कुछ ऐसे मेटल्स हैं, दे आर वेरी हार्ड इन नेचर. So the property which allows the metal to be hammered into thin sheets or foils is called a malleability. The next thing, here is metals are malleable, can be beaten into thin sheets. जैसे for example अगर आप कोई हैमर से अगर कोई आयरन की नेल लेते, अगर आप उसको जोर से हैमर करेंगे तो वो एक शीट में चेंज हो जाएगा. तो ये मेटल की प्रॉपर्टी है कि वो शीट्स में चेंज हो जाते हैं अगर आप उसको हैमर करेंगे तो, उसको मारेंगे तो. So most of the metals are malleable like gold, silver, aluminium and copper are highly malleable metals. और ये जो प्रॉपर्टी है बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है बेटा, और इसकी डेफिनेशन भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है एग्जामिनेशन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. और एल्यूमिनियम फॉइल्स आर वाइडली यूज फॉर सेफ पैकेजिंग ऑफ फूड, मेटल्स, मेडिसिन, चॉकलेट्स एक्सेट्रा दैट यू ऑलरेडी नो. जिंक भी एक ऐसा मेटल है, ब्रेक्स इनटू पीसेस ऑन हैमरिंग, सो जिंक इज ब्रिटल इन नेचर. सो नॉन मेटल्स के बारे में हम बाद में बात करेंगे, ठीक है. मेटल्स हैव हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट. गैलियम एंड सीजियम हैव लो मेल्टिंग पॉइंट, जो कि हमारे मेटल्स के अंडर आता है. ये इनका ही सिर्फ लो मेल्टिंग पॉइंट है, रादर मेटल्स के हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट है. दे मेल्ट इन द पाम ऑफ द हैंड. गैलियम और सीजियम जो है ऐसे एलिमेंट्स है जो आपके हाथ में ही मेल्ट हो जाएंगे, रादर देन रेस्ट ऑफ द मेटल्स का हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट होता है. Metals have high boiling points. Metals are good conductor of heat that you already know. Best conductors are silver and copper. Poor conductors are lead and mercury. Metals are also a good conductor of electricity. Best conductors are silver and copper. That is why wires में हम copper का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Metals are sonorous which produce sound. जैसे अगर आप एल्यूमिनियम के बर्तन में हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं, हमारे utensils are made up of metal and whenever they usually fall down they produce a sound. So metals are sonorous in nature. Just a little bit, one more definition which is very important is here, metals are ductile. Ductile का अर्थ है can be drawn into wires, की मतलब हम उसको तार में चेंज कर सकते हैं. तभी कॉपर जो है वो गुड कंडक्टर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी है, तो तार में कन्वर्ट होते हैं, तो वायर्स के अंदर भी हम कॉपर का इस्तेमाल करते हैं. So gold and silver are among the best ductile metals, and copper, aluminium, iron and magnesium metals can be easily drawn into thin wires, so they are very ductile. These wires inside the electric cables are mostly made up of copper metal that I have told you, and tungsten is used for making the filament of bulb that you know, and you have studied this in class 6. Alright, so luster means shine. Or most of the metals are luster, that is they have shiny surface, and this property is called metallic luster. And the shiny surface of metals make them good reflectors of light because of their metallic luster. Gold, silver and platinum. Metals are used for making jewelry and decorative articles too. The glass mirrors have thin coating of metal like silver or aluminium at their back, which act as a reflector of light. And non-metals do not have shiny appearance like metals, so they are dull in appearance. So conductors we have already talked about. Hardness we have talked about, that metals are hard in nature. Conductor of electricity we have talked about. Let's see few activities. Here take a small iron nail, a cold piece, a piece of thick aluminium wire and a pencil lead. Beat the iron nail with a hammer. Try to hit hard also the aluminium wire, then repeat the same kind of treatment on the cold piece and a pencil lead. So about pencil lead, beta, pencil lead is a crystal form of a carbon which is a non-metal. Please remember this. And it is of two types, that is charcoal and second is graphite, and both are these very soft metals in nature. Alright, these are the soft metals which are present, and that is why we have non-metals, these are the soft non-metals, and that is why we have done this, that when we are going to hammer it, it will going to break into pieces. So what is the observation is here, you saw that the shape of the iron nail and the aluminium wire changed on beating. If they were beaten harder, these could be changed into sheets. So you might be familiar with the silver foil used for decorating sweets.